My name is Gladys Kalema Ziksoka. I'm a wildlife veterinarian and founder and chief executive officer of a grassroots NGO called Conservation Through Public Health. We're primarily working in Uganda, but we also want to start to work in other countries where gorillas are found, like Democratic Republic of Congo and Central Africa. The Year of the Gorilla is very important to me because we're remembering how important the gorillas are to our national heritage and also to how... Okay, wait a minute. You can cut that out. Okay. We're remembering how important the gorillas are to our heritage, and because they're so closely related to us, there's a lot that we can learn from them. The first time that I saw a mountain gorilla was when I was doing research in Bwindi as a vet student, and I felt like I was meeting a very close relative. And I found that whenever I visit the gorillas, it's very therapeutic, and I could connect very easily with them. I think it's very important that we double our efforts to save the gorillas. There's a lot of issues that they're coming against, such as population growth and disease and poaching, habitat loss. But I think with the Year of the Gorilla, we should go into beyond where we normally go, beyond the mainstream of people who normally know about conservation, and go to people who don't care about conservation and get them to start caring about the gorillas. Because as long as we have very high family sizes and population growth, and as long as we have inadequate health care, people are still going to want to go into the forest to poach and collect firewood and even get tempted to poach gorillas. So I want to urge the whole world to take the gorilla conservation issue very seriously because it affects us in every way.
Okay, thank you, Gladys. And tell me about the first time you treated a gorilla. Did you dart it? Tell me that story.
The first time I treated a gorilla, it was very intense and emotional experience because once we darted the gorilla, we had to chase away the silverback, and everybody was so scared of doing it because it was the first time it had ever been done in Uganda. So we didn't have experienced trackers like they do in Rwanda, where they had been doing it for some years. So luckily I was with an experienced vet from Kenya Wildlife Service, Dr. Richard Koch, and we were able to, as he was working on the gorilla, I was the one chasing the silverback away.
And the silverback responded with what? Was he frightened of you?
The silverback was, luckily he was one silverback Kachipira. It was an adult female, a juvenile and a baby, and that's when we had this scabies outbreak. And while Richard was working on the juvenile, because that was the only one we were able to dart, I started going to the silverback, woo, woo, and he looked at me. And he did take me seriously, and I kept doing it. And then he walked away and sat down and looked at us just a few meters. He didn't really go. He just moved a little further away and watched the whole procedure. Because the trackers were too scared of him. I said, chase him with me. They're like, too scared.
But it was a successful intervention.
It was. Once he was safely further away, I was able to get back and work with Richard on the gorilla. And we treated him with ivermectin. He recovered. And the rest of the group recovered, but the infant unfortunately died because we got to it too late. But at least it made us realize that we have to look, where did they get scabies from? Because it was the first time it had ever been recorded in mountain gorillas. And eventually we found out that it came from people, and we realized that the people's public health needed to improve if we're going to protect the mountain gorillas. Fantastic. And all the gorillas in Africa.
Thank you, Gladys.